Good morning. It's Thursday and headed to work for my long day this week. Not getting there quite as early as I hoped for a few reasons. I could have gotten up a little bit earlier, but had a little bit of a child crisis this morning. It's going to be an interesting day. So, I've decided to skip the gym today. I think I did too many leg workouts in a row. I don't feel like I've injured anything, but I'm hurting in a different way than I normally do. And so I am just going to take today off and go back tomorrow. I have done over an 800 calorie burn for the last 3 days in my workouts. So the goal for every week is, I think, 3,250 calories or something like that from workouts that I need to burn. So if I do another 800 calorie burn tomorrow when I go, I'll be on my target and should be okay. We had a death in the family yesterday. It's actually the third death in our family in about 5 weeks, and it was somewhat expected. This family member had been really sick for a long time, but he's also one of those that was very stubborn and always bounced back from being sick, and he had a stroke several days ago and just never bounced back from it. So while it was expected, it's still really difficult. And it was actually my grandmother's brother, and my grandmother died 5 weeks ago yesterday. So I comfort ate last night, and I'm regretting it this morning. I know you really are only supposed to weigh in maybe once a week. I do every day. I shouldn't, and after this week I'm not going to. But I had a meal that, I mean, I know I ate more than I should, but it was really, really high in sodium, and I ate it close to bedtime. I ended up being 5 pounds heavier than I was yesterday, and I know your weight fluctuates in general, but that was, I had talked earlier in the week about sodium and how bad it can cause issues with weight gain and preventing weight loss and all of that. That was just kind of a confirmation to me, as if I needed one. So, and I also have that wonderful privilege of being a woman and enduring the things that go on every month with being a woman. So I know there's some different factors in play, but today is going to be all tea and water to kind of help flush out that sodium. And I'm just going to be definitely food journaling all the time so I can keep track of my sodium intake. Because at one time, before I lost weight, and it was primarily when I was pregnant with my son, so about 6.5 years ago, 7 years ago, I was on blood pressure medication and was borderline after pregnancy with whether or not I needed blood pressure medication. And so that's something that they definitely tell you, watch your sodium, because high levels of sodium in your body will make your blood pressure rise. And I do not want to go back on blood pressure medication. So I am going to start being really strict about that. And since I've been able to go back to work an extra 10 hours a pay period, I am going to start contributing more to the grocery bill and buying some more just raw foods. I want to start taking my lunch to work and doing like lettuce wraps or I haven't thought of anything else, but doing like lettuce wraps or something else healthy for lunch, because I know I need carbs to keep myself going, and especially when I'm going to go work out or something like that. But I know a lower carb diet and higher protein is going to be, in general, better for my diabetes as well as for weight loss. And I think that kind of the key now is looking at food differently. I don't generally tend to comfort eat. I do occasionally. I tend to be more one that when I get upset or stressed, I completely lose my appetite. So I need to start looking at food as just fuel for my body and not necessarily something super enjoyable. I don't want to make it to where every single meal I look at somebody's plate and think, oh my gosh, they're having 1,500 calories. Oh, there's that much sodium in it, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be obsessive over it like that, but I know I need to be more aware of what I'm putting. I'm so sorry. It's so bumpy. I know I need to be more aware of what I'm putting into my own body, and really I'm not. I just have kind of gone with the concept of, well, this is what I know I like. This is what I've always eaten, and apparently what I've always eaten has not gotten me the results that I want or gotten me to a place that I'm happy with myself, so something needs to change. And I know even going to restaurants that I love, there's got to be delicious stuff that is healthier for me that I could be trying, and I don't need to just be blindly ordering because this is what I've always eaten or this is what's comfortable or whatever. So I wouldn't want my child to do that and be, oh, that didn't help at all, and be stuck in constantly eating the same thing. So maybe if I look at it as leading by example, it'll be an easier step for me. But I am almost to work and hoping to have a really productive day. I know I said yesterday, my boss and I have had the hardest time, especially the last 2 days. Monday was fairly productive, but especially the last 2 days, we have just had a hard time with being able to keep up wanting to be productive. It's not even like the 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock lull that you hear about. It hits at like noon and just hangs all day. So since I'm here an extra 2 hours today, a little more than 2 hours, I want to make sure that I keep productive. But I've got a few things that I can do as far as scholarships, and I wrote down several things yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out a way to organize ahead of time for one of the major scholarships that our department sends out that we have to track the students through the semester. I'm trying to figure out a better way of organizing that. I kind of did a little bit during the spring, but I want to come up with a little bit better way of doing it for the fall, if there is one. So maybe do some brainstorming about that while I'm here today. But I will sign off for now, and we'll talk again when I'm on my way home, and I'll let you know how the day went and just kind of what's going on. Well, I'm headed home a little earlier than I planned on. My boss ran out of stuff for me to do, and so she told me that I could leave early without getting docked in pay, which I really appreciate. Looks like I'm going to have a 4-day weekend actually, because it sounds like the funeral for my great uncle is going to be on Monday. So I am hoping I can get
a few things done at the house, and as far as school stuff for my son is concerned, and all of that, with having both a Friday and a Monday to work on it. Today was a really good day though at work. It was very productive. I got most of the stuff on my list done, and even had a few more things added on, and still got the majority of it done. There's just a handful of things left to do next week, but none of them are super pressing, so it was a good day. My husband and my son came up and had lunch with me, and my son was dressed up as Batman when they got there. It was great. He came in with his t-shirt and shorts and a big Batman mask on, carrying a Batarang. It was classic. I wish I'd gotten a picture. But they hung out and we had lunch and got a few more things done. I know I went on this big spiel this morning about eating more healthy and all of that, but really did not eat a healthy lunch, and really I should go to the gym, but I know I overdid it yesterday and I really need a day off to just recover. So I am going to go home, and since my husband is off today and can help with our kiddo, I'm going to just take some time and relax and either read or watch some YouTube videos or some Netflix or something and just relax for a while, because I hurt my back in August of last year when I was doing squats. I used improper form, and I don't know if I herniated a disc or came close to slipping a disc or what the deal was, but every once in a while it'll really flare up on me. And I didn't do anything with incorrect form yesterday, but I worked out the muscles a lot in that particular part of my back yesterday, and it's really pretty achy today, so I really don't want to overdo it. Even just having to walk around too much today was kind of painful, so it probably was the shoes I was wearing too, but I don't want to push myself and re-injure. So I am just going to go home and relax a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Man, I've got to find less bumpy roads. This is pathetic. But let's see. It's Thursday, right? There's not much that happens Thursday evenings. Usually that had been when I took a night class. For like 3 semesters I had a Tuesday, Thursday night class. So I kind of am out of the loop as far as even what's on TV during Thursdays. So I don't know, maybe somebody make me some good suggestions for Thursday TV shows. I might not get to watch them on Thursday, but I can TiVo them if nothing else. Especially with not going to the gym today, I really just kind of feel like I don't know what to do. I always feel kind of bad to just go home and take a nap, but I really feel like I need one. So tomorrow is going to be kind of an errand day and hopefully a fun day with my son. It has been extremely hot here. It's like 99 degrees right now with 50 or 60% humidity. It's pretty nasty right now. So if it's real hot tomorrow, we're probably going to go to the science center or the library, or maybe both. If it is a little cooler, I think we're going to go have a picnic at the park. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning I started seeing her for grief counseling when we lost our daughter 3 years ago. But since then, she has been seeing me for just continued counseling in general, and I'm about to undergo a type of therapy called EMDR, which it's kind of involved, so it may just be something to Google and read about, but it's kind of self-hypnosis. It's called eye-directional movement recall or something, I think, something like that. But basically what it does is, because of rapidly moving your eyes back and forth following someone's fingers, the making of the two sides of the brain switch back and forth so quickly also calls to memory a lot of things that you normally would not be able to remember. And I am an abuse survivor. I started being abused when I was 7 or 8, and it went on and off until I was 22 or 23, and everything prior to the time I was 18 I didn't even remember until my senior year of high school. We had a work-study program that I was part of, and there was a speaker brought in because several of the people in the program were in like after-school programs or daycares or things like that, and this speaker was giving information on things to watch for as markers for kids who are undergoing abuse at home or in some type of an abuse situation. And with just the things that they were talking about, it brought back some memories for me, and I thought that I had dealt with them, but something happened about a year ago that caused everything to come back to memory, and realized I had not dealt with some of it. So I don't know if we're going to start those sessions this week. Oh, well, essentially with the EMDR, what it does is it makes you remember or face memories that maybe you weren't able to deal with before. I've done the exact same type of therapy with regard to when my daughter was born and died, and it did really help, because there was definitely stuff that I just was not ready to deal with at the time of her birth, the time of her death, and even into a few months after that. But what we're going to have to do is go through each individual instance of abuse, and I don't even know how many there are. And she did tell me that we were going to start them in August, but I don't know if that's going to be this week or if it's going to be later on in the month. But either way, I'm ready to do it, and I'm ready to work through some things and get past them, because it's the source of my anxiety attacks. I have no doubt in my mind. Losing my daughter didn't help, but I know that that's what initially started causing them, because I've had them since I was super, super young. And I would really, I'm hopeful that going through this therapy will, if it doesn't completely put it into them, at least decrease the severity and the frequency of them. So I do see her tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be doing the hypnotherapy or if we're going to hold off on it, but if I don't do it tomorrow, I'll at least know when we're going to start. So I'm going to go to therapy tomorrow, do laundry, hang out with my son, and get back into the gym. Definitely going to do some meal planning. I can at least plan out my breakfast and lunch if my mom's taking care of dinners. And I know if I talk to her about kind of my goals and what I'm looking to do as far as my diet, I know that she'll be willing to work with me or help me by getting the foods that I need so that I can make my own meals if I absolutely have to. But anyway, I am almost home. tired. It is hot. And I am going to sign off for now and just chill, I hope. So, everyone have a great evening. And I don't know how much vlogging will happen tomorrow. I'll have my little sidekick with me, so there may be lots of background talking and noise, but there will be at least some. I'm going to try to do Monday through Friday. And so we will talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a good night.